Oh man, whoa, whoa. Hey guys, did you saw that? Did you saw how many pillows I just lay on the bed? Can someone really tell me why women love to have so many pillows on their bed? Or maybe it's just my wife. Oh well. Anyway, good morning, guys. It's so nice to see you again this morning. And I was just downstairs having some breakfast, and I came back up just to make up the bed because my wife likes to see when it's made up, right? And I like seeing it that way too. But as I was sitting downstairs and just reminiscing on my my morning and my overnight, a question came to mind, which I'd like to kind of share with you. It's a big question, and I think it's a lot of food for thought, so to speak. All right. So here we go. My question is, what is it that keeps you awake at night? Really, what are some of the things that keeps you awake at night? I know the things that keep me awake at night. There are two things, two main things, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate. A lot of you can relate to this. Now, number one of the first things that really keeps me awake at night is my health. Now, it's not that my health is bad, but I don't know if I'm pessimistic or what. But as soon as I feel a little ache here or a little pain here or a little discomfort anywhere, I start to get concerned. And especially because we're getting older, and as you get older, all kind of diseases want to take over your body. So for me, I think I tend to overreact a bit sometimes. I really do. And so, I'm thankful that I don't have, an illness, knock on wood, that is causing me really serious concerns. I mean, nothing is perfect. I have my own health issues, right? But compared to a lot of people, I have to be thankful. So, my health, that is one thing that keeps me awake at night, worrying about the status of my health, worrying about whether or not something is happening inside of my body that I'm not aware of, or something is going wrong because I'm feeling a little discomfort or pain somewhere. A friend of mine told me once that, you know what, he don't even bother to worry about those things anymore because it's a way of life as soon as you start getting old. For example, I am 60 now, going towards my 61st birthday, and so you will understand why. So definitely, my health, you know, that keeps me awake at night. I must say, I've been thankful, I have been grateful about the fact that, I've been, for most of my life, I've been fairly healthy, not without situations that causes concerns, but for the most part, the glass is half full or mostly full when it comes to my health, and I thank God for that. Now, the second thing that keeps me awake at night is money. I'm just going to be blunt with that, money, because when it comes to money, we never seem it's never enough. And I'm not saying never enough in a more you know in a greedy kind of way, or just can't have enough kind of way. What I mean is that we work so hard every day, and it's never enough it's not like that. It's not like we're living beyond our means. That's what I'm trying to say. We're not living beyond our means. Many of us are living within our means. Many of us are living just from hand to mouth, as we would say back in back in Jamaica, where I'm from. Right? Many of us are just keeping our head above water. You understand what I'm saying with this? You understand where I'm going? And so money is never seemed to be enough, because I guess it's just the high cost of living and the way things are in terms of expenses that, the high cost of everything seem to outweigh whatever you earn, And so, no matter how much you earn, it never seem as if it's adequate, even though you're trying to live within your means or living below your means sometimes, right? So those are the two main things that keeps me awake at night, my two major concerns. What about you? Can you relate to either of those? Now, as I, create this little talk or have this little talk as a part of my daily diary, because I'm documenting my life and my thoughts each and every day, reminiscing on the future, the past, the present, and just stuff that are happening throughout the world. What are some of your major concerns that keeps you awake at night? And I made up a little list here, of some of the things that probably are of concern to you, and keeping you really awake at night, All right, so we talk about health already, the health status, and how when you're not feeling healthy, that can stresses you out. The next point I'd like to touch on is the issue of relationships, because whether you believe it or not, relationships are very important. Good relationships, that's what I'm talking about. Good relationships is very important to the human experience, at least to my experience. I think when we have good relationships, it transcends so many aspects of our lives in a positive way. And when relationships are bad or they're going south, it stresses us out. As long as we want things to be positive and they're going in a negative direction, it causes stress, right? So relationships are for me are very important. You may be going through you may be going through a situation right now where you may not be having a good relationship with your spouse, with your children, probably with your parents, probably with a co-worker. Things are not going well, and for more, I'm gonna stick my head out and say, if you're the kind of person who really value peace of mind and tranquility, I'm sure, this or those kind of situations will definitely keep you awake at night. So relationships, very important. It's very important to me, and I'm assuming good relationships are very important to you too. Yeah, definitely. The next point is, and I think I kind of touch on it somewhat in terms of money, but the high cost of living, guys. I know it comes back to money, but just to kind of expand expand a little bit more on just the high cost of living. I'm sure that the inflation and the expenses of life and how expensive things are is keeping those stuff are keeping a lot of people awake at night, and it does keep me awake at night. Yeah, so think about this. You walk into the supermarket, you spend X amount of dollars and you expect to get X amount of groceries. In return, you spend $150, $200. You have a small family, and when you walk out, you're coming out with two little plastic bags with barely anything in it for the amount of money, the amount of money that you just spent, right? You know, just the expense of food. When you look at a thing like rent, you know, my throat is getting a little bit hoarse, guys. Let me grab a little bottle of water here. All right, sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, the high cost of living, you know, when you think about the young people nowadays, people are searching to find places to rent. They can't afford it because, you know, the rent is too high. The landlords are just jacking up their prices just because they want, you know, they have high interest rate payment on their loans for the, you know, the place that they own, and they're paying loans and all of that. They, you know, you go to the bank to get a loan, or you may have credit cards paying back or whatever, and all these interest rates. Oh my goodness, left, right, and center. Life is expensive. You know, you have a little car, and you know the car payments. You're trying to get, you know, something to drive, and when you look at the interest payment and some of these stuff nowadays, things are just so expensive, so expensive. You know, just the high cost of living with food. You know, it's a good thing that we don't have to buy clothes every day like how we buy food. It's a good thing. But generally speaking, you know, the high cost of living, that is something that keeps me awake at night, and I'll stick my head out and say it's probably keeping you awake at night too. The high cost of living. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Another issue I'd like to touch on, and you know, it's funny how a lot of these things kind of are related to finances, so to speak. But my next thing, or the next thing I like to talk about, is unemployment. And if you're unemployed right now and you're searching, you know, to find a job, I empathize with you. I totally understand. You know, being unemployed, it's a big stressor, a huge stressor. It can be a huge stressor in your life, man. When you want to work and you can't find a job, sometimes you have to, you know, you're just probably leaving university or college, and you can't even find the you know, a decent job in that kind of matches up to your qualification sometimes. And even when you're willing to kind of settle for what you can get, you still can't find anything, you know. So, you know, being unemployed and want to work and can't find a job, you're sending out resumes left, right, and center, not getting called for not even an interview, you know, not even a response to your resumes, you know. Totally get it, guys. Totally get it. And that can keep you awake at night. That will definitely keep you awake at night. If I was employed, I'm sorry, I mean, if I was unemployed, oh my goodness, that would be a big stressor for me personally. You know, so I'm thankful that I have a job, and for you there, if you're watching this and you don't have a job and you're trying to find one, I really hope that you can find one soon, so you can provide for yourself or maybe for your family and all of that. All right, so unemployment. Another thing that really that keeps me awake at night is just the state of the world right now. The things that are happening, on planet Earth right now. When you think of the two wars that are happening, what is happening in Gaza between Israel and Hamas in Gaza right now, and all the innocent people who are caught up in this whole debacle, this whole this fight, people who are dying needlessly, and people who are starving, people who are dying because of no, of who should not be dying because they have nothing to do with what went down. It bothers me, and it keeps me awake at night. And you think about all those people in Ukraine and what they're enduring from Russia. You're in your house and you don't know when a bomb is going to drop on your house. You know, um, these things keep me awake at night. I wake up some nights and I'm lying there in bed because you have to be concerned, guys. You can't, at least for me, I have to be concerned. I'm not the kind of person who can just sit back and just ignore what is happening around me. No, I can't just sit back. I'm not saying I'm an activist. I'm not an activist, but I'm a concerned citizen, right? And it really bothers me. I think of climate change and what climate change is doing to our planet right now. You think of all these floods and hurricanes. I'm thinking of my country, Jamaica, where I'm from, and how it was ravaged. The south coast of the country was ravaged by Hurricane Beryl 2 weeks ago. People are still recovering. People still have no clean water to drink. People still have no electricity. It's terrible, you know, and you have to really be concerned about people who are suffering. I can't sit back and or lie in my cozy bed at night and just because I'm comfortable, I don't think of people, you know. Yeah, so those things bother me. The whole situation on our planet right now. Um, I look at myself as an environmentalist, and I think about the environment quite a bit. And I think about nuclear waste. I think about fossil fuel and what is, the burning of fossil fuel and what it's doing to our atmosphere. I think about we are in a new age of technology. Everything going electric. You know, and what are they going to be doing with all these batteries in the next couple of years when they have to discard them? What is going to happen to the environment? All these spent nuclear fuel rods that are stored up in nuclear plants, that will be poisonous. What are toxic for generations to come. How are they gonna dispose of all these things? So these things, people don't think about these things, but I have to think about these things, guy, and they do keep me awake at night, to be honest with you. And so, it boils down to one thing, and thinking about all of these things and the stresses of life, and when you combine everything that I have just mentioned, we talk about money, we talk about your health, we talk about relationships, we talk about unemployment, we talk about the state, the state of the world and what is going on in the world with the environment, with wars, with hurricanes, with fire. Look what's going on in parts of Canada where hundreds of thousands of people just yesterday. Today is um, as I'm recording this, Tuesday, July 23rd, I think. What went down yesterday with, hundreds and thousands of people have to run and leave their homes in parts Western Canada because of forest, these huge forest fires coming towards the town. these things keep me awake at night, you know. And in the end, when all of these things are combined, it causes nothing but stress, right? So what is the main thing that the main topic that I've just touched on that is causing you stress right now? What is the one thing that is really stressing you out? You know? Because for me, I don't like being stressed. Whenever I get stressed, all kind of things start happening to me. I get headache. I have a medical issue with an abdominal issue. When I'm stressed out, my stomach start hurting. I get tense up. I get constipated. I'm just being transparent, guys. Stress is the biggest killer. Stress is the one thing that causes so much diseases in people's bodies these days. So, all of these things causes nothing but stress, and it's hard. I mean, it's easy to just sit back and ignore a lot of what I've just talked about and spoken about. But if you're a concerned citizen, if you are a responsible adult, or person, then you have to be concerned somewhat. You have to think about some of these things. And it's unfortunate that it's keeping us awake at night when we should be getting a good night's sleep. But I guess that's just the way it is for many of us. Yeah. So stress, guys. Let's see how we can get rid of some of these stresses in our life. I mean, some of these things are unavoidable in some ways, but nevertheless, let's see what we can do to reduce some of these stresses, because everything that I've just spoken about here causes nothing but stress, right? Yeah, so these are some of the things that are probably keeping you awake at night. I can relate to many of these issues that people that are struggling with, and stuff that are keeping me awake at night. So let's see what we can do about them, and let's help where we can, give a helping hand where we can. Let's encourage someone. Let's try to lift someone else up, and in the end, especially around relationships, which is so important. Let's be there for people, and let's hope we can find other people who will be there for us. Let's hope we can attract the people who will be there for us in our lives when we are going through these tough times. All right. Anyway, so that's my little reminiscing for today. This was quite a bit long, but thank you for indulging me. I'm sure you can relate to some of these things, and so until we meet again, until we chat again, you have a blessed day, and keep checking in, right? Because I have a lot of stuff on my mind, guys, a whole lot of stuff. All right. So you have a great night, great day now, and you take care. All right? Blessings.